Have you ever wondered if the gods we worship are creations of our own imagination? Throughout the course of human history, our species has conceived and revered an estimated 2,500 divine beings. Each culture, each civilization, each society has its distinct pantheon, its unique spiritual tapestry woven from the threads of their collective values, fears, and hopes. From the thunderous, hammer-wielding Thor of Norse mythology to the compassionate, wisdom-filled Buddha of Eastern tradition, these gods are as diverse and complex as the societies that birthed them. They serve as mirrors, reflecting not only our awe of the unknown, but also our deepest desires and our darkest dreads. So let's embark on a journey that takes us through the epics of spiritual creation, the evolution of gods, and the intricate relationship between humanity and its divine inventions. Perhaps the gods we've come to know and worship are more a reflection of us rather than us being a reflection of them. The creation of gods dates back to the earliest human civilizations. It's a tale as old as time itself, woven into the very fabric of our history. Humanity, in its infancy, looked out into the vast expanse of the unknown and sought to make sense of it all, and from this desire for understanding, gods were born. Let's take a journey back to the cradle of civilization. Picture this. Humans huddled around a fire looking up at the night sky. They see the moon, the stars, the sun rising and setting day after day. They feel the rain, the wind, the heat, and the cold. They witness the cycles of nature, the changing seasons, the birth and death of living things. All of these were mysteries, phenomena beyond their comprehension, so they did what humans do best. They created stories. The sun was not just a giant ball of fire in the sky, it was a god, riding across the heavens in a chariot of gold. The moon was a goddess, cloaked in silver, ruling the night. The rain was the tears of a deity, weeping for the world below. These early gods were embodiments of the natural world, personifications of the forces that shaped their lives. They were both feared and revered, for they held the power of life and death in their hands. But these gods were not static, unchanging entities. No, they were as dynamic as the people who worshipped them. As humans learned and grew, so too did their gods. The deities of the sun, moon, and rain gradually gave way to more complex figures, gods of war, love, wisdom, and more. They became mirrors of human society, reflecting its values, fears, hopes, and dreams. What began as simple explanations for the mysteries of the world evolved into intricate systems of belief, shaping societies and cultures for thousands of years. As societies evolved, so too did their gods, becoming more complex and nuanced. And this, dear listeners, was only the dawn of God creation. The journey, as we shall see, was far from over. As civilizations grew and interacted, the pantheon of gods expanded. The tapestry of human culture is a vibrant mix of tales, traditions, and beliefs. As societies grew and interacted, they didn't just trade goods or technologies, they shared their gods too. This exchange of divine figures led to the expansion and evolution of the pantheon of gods. Let's dive deeper into how this process worked. Imagine a time when two distinct cultures met, each with their own set of gods. As these cultures interacted and learned from one another, they often found similarities between their deities. A god of war from one culture might be seen to resemble a war god from another. For instance, in these instances, it wasn't uncommon for one culture to adopt the god of another or to merge their own god with this newly discovered deity. And so the pantheon grew. Each new god added another thread to the complex tapestry of human belief. But these gods weren't just carbon copies of their original forms. They evolved, adapted, and changed to fit their new cultural context. Consider a god of harvest originally worshipped by a farming society. When adopted by a seafaring culture, this god might evolve to become a deity of the sea and bounty. Their core essence of providing abundance remains, but the specifics of their domain change to fit the needs and values of the new culture. This constant evolution is a fascinating aspect of human belief systems. It highlights how flexible and adaptable these systems are, shifting and transforming to reflect the ever-changing human experience. The diversity and dynamism of the world's pantheon of gods is a testament to their human origins. These gods, in all their varied forms, are mirrors of us. They reflect our fears, our hopes, our values, and our understanding of the world. And that is the beauty of the Pantheon. It is as diverse and ever-changing as humanity itself. A pantheon that began with a handful of gods has grown to encompass over 2,500 deities, each with their own unique story and significance. This constant evolution and adaptation of gods is a testament to their human origins. But why do humans create gods in the first place? It's a question that has puzzled thinkers for millennia, and today, we're going to take a closer look at it. One of the key reasons is our innate need for explanation. As humans, we have an insatiable curiosity about the world around us. We yearn to understand why the sun rises, why the rain falls, why we exist. In ancient times, when scientific knowledge was scarce, gods provided answers to these profound mysteries. There were gods of the sun, gods of the rain, gods of life and death. They served as a framework to understand the world, to make sense of the inexplicable. Then, there's our need for comfort. Life, as we all know, is fraught with difficulties and uncertainties. We fear death. We fear the unknown. We fear being alone. Gods, in this context, offer solace. They are omnipresent entities who watch over us, who care for us, who guide us through our darkest hours. They offer the promise of an afterlife, a continuation beyond the grim finality of death. This comforting aspect of gods is perhaps one of the most potent reasons for their creation. And finally, there's the matter of control. We as humans crave order and predictability. We want to believe that we have some influence over our own destinies. Gods and the rituals associated with them give us a sense of control. By praying, making offerings, or performing certain actions, we feel we can sway the gods in our favor, influence the course of events. It's a deeply ingrained part of our human psyche. So, in essence, gods fulfill our psychological needs. They provide explanations, offer comfort, and give us a semblance of control over our lives. They are a product of our human imagination, but they also reflect our deepest fears, hopes, and desires. Gods, in many ways, are a mirror of our own human nature. In our modern world, the concept of gods has continued to evolve. As our understanding of the universe has grown, so too has our perception of what constitutes a divine being. While many still adhere to the traditional gods of old, an increasing number of individuals are shifting their perceptions, finding divinity in places that our ancestors may not have considered. In the past, gods were often tied to the natural world, embodying elements like fire, water, and the earth. Today, however, some people find a sense of divinity in the very laws that govern these natural phenomena. They see the intricate dance of atoms and particles, the vast expanses of space-time, and the mind-boggling complexity of life itself as evidence of a different kind of God. Not a god of myth and legend, but a god of mathematics and physics, a god of science. Others have taken a different route, finding divinity not in the macroscopic world of celestial bodies and quantum mechanics, but in the human spirit. They see the capacity for love, empathy, and creativity as divine attributes, suggesting that if there are gods, they exist within us, in the very essence of what makes us human. And then there are those who find their gods in nature. In the towering trees and the rushing rivers, in the whisper of the wind and the roar of the ocean. They see divinity in the interconnectedness of all living things, in the delicate balance that sustains life on our planet. Each of these perspectives highlights a different aspect of our modern understanding of gods. They illustrate how our concept of the divine has evolved alongside our knowledge and our values, moving away from the anthropomorphic deities of old towards more abstract and perhaps more personal interpretations. These modern interpretations of gods further emphasize their human-made nature. In the end, it seems, our gods are reflections of ourselves, of our hopes, our fears, and our understanding of the world around us. So, what does this all mean for our understanding of gods? Having traveled through history, we've seen the birth, evolution, and influence of over 2,500 gods. Each one, a creation of the human mind, crafted to reflect our values, embody our fears, and encapsulate our hopes. They've served as a lens through which we perceive the world, a tool to make sense of the inexplicable. From the dawn of civilization, gods have been instrumental in helping us feel a sense of control over our destinies. They've been the thread weaving together societies, cultures, and civilizations. They've been the characters in our stories, the figures in our art, and the symbols of our moral compass. In the end, gods are a human creation, born from our innate need to understand and shape the world around us. Whether or not you believe in gods, it's undeniable that they are a fascinating testament to the power of human imagination and belief.